Hey y'all, how you guys doing? I know it's been a while, but I'll reply to any comments and stuff if you have questions. Basically, I've been gone for a month because I've been working on a show. A show went to competition, and a lot of stuff happened, and school on top of that, and colleges, and if you don't know, I am an actor. I do musical theater, and it is like work. It's like real work. It's a real job, minus the money. So I needed a month off. I just needed to focus on my craft. I will be getting back into the swing of things. Into the swing. Things. Like Spider-Man, I do want to apologize for taking so long to make another video and leaving you guys hanging, but we're back. Yay! Hooray! And yeah, let's just get right into it. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's do this. So should I keep my mask up or down during the video? We'll see. I'm gonna keep it up for this section, but it's like falling on my face. Now, if you don't know what storyboards are, they're basically a sketch or a piece of art that will depict what will happen on a given frame. And these frames will be for a certain time, and they can be for dialogue, blocking, or even establishing shots. The point of them is to make communication between the director and their vision easier with everybody else who's working on the film, so that everybody can get exactly what the director wants. It also allows for the crew to plan ahead, think of like the cinematographer or even just the camera guy, to plan ahead their shot and their set so that they can make the filmmaking process a lot faster. So Sony decided to release the original storyboard for Gwen's opening in Across the Spider-Verse. And we get to talk about Gwen again. Oh yeah, we get to talk about... Where's my plush toy? I have not touched this since this summer.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh yeah, let's do this, baby. Let's, where am I gonna put you? Where am I gonna put you? Yeah, so they released these storyboards for Gwen's opening in the movie, which is actually pretty cool because it has a lot of new things that we didn't see before. And as you can see, we're gonna dissect those things in this video, okay? I do want to put a potential spoiler warning on this video because apparently some of this was marked as a spoiler on Twitter, and then they went ahead and released it. But the idea is that some of this could actually be shown in Beyond the Spider-Verse, because as we know, the opening was sort of like a summary of what the film will be, Across the Spider-Verse, and it did include scenes that were ripped right out of the movie. So theoretically, some of these frames could be seen in Beyond the Spider-Verse, so we finally have something to go off of other than that Miles Morales 42 video. But we have no idea if any of this will actually stay in Beyond the Spider-Verse because things are really subject to change when it comes to the Spider-Verse films. You'll see that some dialogue may be cut or added, some scenes might have text bubbles that didn't have them before. You'll see that they really just decided to make changes before releasing the digital version, which is weird because you bought the movie that you saw in the theater and not the one that they want. But without further ado, let's do this one last time and discover Across the Spider-Verse video. Let's do this. So the first small detail I like is that they show Peter Parker and Gwen getting bit by a spider after showing Miles getting bit, but they also include Ultimate Peter Parker, which I think is interesting because is this the same Peter Parker that died in Miles' world, or is this the actual comics one? I don't know, but I thought it was cool. Also, for any Ghostflower or Giles fans out there, this video is great for you because they flash a little selfie of Miles and Gwen. But then right after that, they show Miles watching his uncle die in an alley, and then it zooms out to all these other spider people watching a loved one of theirs die in the same alley, including Gwen. This is definitely a reference to what happens later in the movie when Miguel shows Miles his little presentation and talks about canon events. There's also this explosion at the 1 minute mark, and it's such a small shot. I think it could either be something happening in Mumbattan or a potential part of Beyond the Spider-Verse caused by the spot, which we'll get into later. Next, there's a quick sequence of Miles falling and flailing his arms, and Gwen is swinging around, possibly trying to catch him. Then she swoops in and they cut to the scene of them sitting next to each other. Notice how much warmth they put in this shot. This is likely a reference to their little date under the clock tower later in the movie. Also, I think the warmth could possibly symbolize that either Gwen or Miles feel a lot happier and more comfortable when their other half is with them. Oh, it sucks in this mask. I can't see my script. Can you guys see me reading it? My script right here. I did not memorize it. I had to get this video out so fast. After that, we get an alternative train sequence where Gwen and Peter meet with Miles, and it looks like they're talking to him before he gets tackled by Miguel. It seems like Peter's more in the background of this, so this is likely a conversation just between Miles and Gwen. I think Gwen is trying to convince him not to go back to his own dimension here, but it doesn't work. Leading to the next scene, where Miles looks sad and almost disappointed at Gwen. I think this could be a part of the scene where Gwen and Miles are having their little date under the water tower, and Gwen tells him that she has to leave, or maybe she snaps at him. After that, it cuts back to the train scene where it zooms in on Gwen's face, and we see her sadness. This is the same sadness that I've described in so many of my videos where I talk about this scene. This is after Miles says goodbye to Gwen, where she's sad he's leaving, but proud he's finally standing up for himself and being a hero that she always thought he could be. The only thing different here is that we get Mayday's reaction too in the background. Now Gwen goes crazy on the drums, and we get this strobe-like flash of Peter and Miles' faces swapping. This could possibly be a hint that in Gwen's mind, she sees Miles as precious to her as Peter Parker was. This could also be the idea that Peter Parker was supposed to become Spider-Man in her universe. And maybe she feels guilty because just like how Miles Morales wasn't supposed to become Spider-Man as told by Miguel, she thinks she wasn't supposed to become Spider-Woman. But I'm not sure. This could also just be a cute little thing the artist made for us to see Miles Morales as Spider-Man just as much as we see Peter Parker as Spider-Man. Next, there's this sequence where Gwen is jumping into an abyss with faces in the background. I could be wrong, but these faces kind of remind me of when Gwen took off her mask in front of her father. This could be a metaphor for her feeling like her life is crumbling, as everything is crumbling around her. And she feels like she's plunging deeper into this depressing despair, where her only escape is her only friend, Miles. If this is the case, I need to tell you guys how much I just adore, I love this movie. The character work is so nice and so complex and so three-dimensional. Even the metaphorical blocking. I love the emphasis on Gwen's character in this movie. I love her relationship with Miles Morales in this movie. I think I read somewhere that they originally planned for Gwen to kiss Miles in Into the Spider-Verse, but I'm glad they scrapped it because now we get this super developed character with flaws and emotions and so much goodness. Oh, I love good character work. Oh my god. She feels like the only person who can save her is Miles Morales, which makes this whole opening sequence all the more painful because it's about the regret she feels for quote-unquote betraying him. It's so powerful and sad and haunting, but let's continue. So there's a sequence of Gwen avoiding Vulture, and then we cut to a giant spot. Now, this was what was blurred in another video because they thought it would be spoilers, and then they went ahead and released it anyway. But that means this kaiju-sized spot will likely be in Beyond the Spider-Verse. And I don't even know how Miles is gonna fight him. I really have no, I don't know. All I know is the spot is standing on business, okay?
Hey, bro. Who the hell is this? I'm the type of stand on business. One man army getting 50. Let's go and do that. I stand on business.
But this might prove my spot theory right. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll leave a thingy on the corner of the screen somewhere. But essentially, I argued that Miles Morales wouldn't beat the spot by punching or kicking him, which clearly that would not work in this scene, but he would actually try talking to him and try to use his words on this villain of the week. It also looks like Gwen is in the corner of his frame and she might be communicating to somebody on her Faz watch. She might be talking to Miles and telling him about the situation. But I do have a couple theories on what could be happening here. So assuming they're on 1610, at this point in the movie, Miles could be revealing his identity to his parents as of right now, or planning to. But it gets interrupted by the spot going crazy and Gwen calling him and saying, "Look out the window!" And then we get this like big shot of like just fire and havoc, and it kind of reminds Miles of Earth 42 in a way. From there, Miles will make up some excuse to leave, and his parents might be suspiciously okay with him going out to leave. Although I doubt Jeff will be out of the loop that there's a giant spot running around in the city. But maybe after gathering enough hints, they deduce that their son is Spider-Man. Or they stop him from leaving and we get some interesting way of Miles telling them that he's Spider-Man or some sort of escape artist scene. Either way, that's one way this can go down. Another way is that Gwen is trying to communicate to the Web Warriors, or the Spider People as Sony wants to call them, and she's trying to get an attack plan. Okay, so I was up at 1 a.m. like scrolling through Twitter, and I saw that they actually call this ginormous spot the Abyss, which is crazy. I really don't know how they turned this C-list villain into such a big deal, but I'm so glad they did because he's really menacing, and I think he's a great fit for Miles Morales, especially for a Spider-Verse themed movie series. It's so curious what they're planning for this next movie. Maybe a giant movie monster villain will be good because they don't have to worry about developing the Spot anymore, and instead they can work on Miles's and Gwen's relationship. It could also suck. This could also just be a very flashy event movie that has not as much depth as the last one, but who cares? I'm excited. I need this trilogy to finish because it's going to be one of the best trilogies ever, like in general. I'm serious. It's such a good series. In conclusion, I love how Gwen's intro is made. I love how chaotic it is. It demonstrates Gwen hitting all of her emotions with her drumsticks to make them into these fleeting thoughts. And the more she thinks about how she hurt Miles, the more sporadic, spontaneous, wild her hits become. Her rhythms become more chaotic and her hits become harder. I will always love the character work they did with Gwen in this movie, and I can't wait to see what they do in the next movie. Now, which do I prefer, the original storyboard or the final picture? Well, I think the final picture is the better one. This is because it's still good and it gives us enough info to keep us guessing on what does this all mean without spoiling too much. I think the storyboards really do show a lot from the movie that wouldn't have us be as shocked as we would if we didn't have it. Say they did show jumbo-sized Spot in the opening intro, then we wouldn't be surprised when he transforms from Villain of the Week to this ginormous threat. But let me know what you think. Comment down below which you prefer. With all that being said, I know my channel is a little weird. Many of you subscribe for Spider-Verse content, and I'm so glad it took me so far, but sometimes you see me make a review for a video game or movie you've never heard of, or catch me simping for somebody else that isn't Gwen, and it can be a little shocking to say the least. I still want you to know that I'm so thankful that you still subscribe and watch my other videos. Every view and subscriber really does matter to me. Thank you for watching. I do have another Spider-Verse video planned. I've written out most of it. My hint is that it involves the number 42. I'm not sure when it'll come out, so give me time to focus on school because I still have more colleges to apply to and school to do, and I have another show coming up, and oh my god, I just want to make YouTube videos, y'all. But we will see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment what you want to see next, subscribe if you're new. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
The roof with me, live up your youth with me before they shooting me. With all they cameras and bullets, I swear I'm the man up in France with the hooligans. Yeah, I'm up with stand up, you do not answer